What's going on, Guardians? Your boy Sly here, back at it with another Sly Nation Destiny 2 video. So things are an absolute buzz within the Destiny community. The PC beta is quickly approaching its debut. Gamescom is all over this week with Destiny 2 as a panel up today, August 24th, and then there was that epic leak that happened late yesterday. So let's talk about all of it and see what else we can learn from it, including a few other tidbits of news. Y'all ready? Alright guys, let's do this. It's Thursday, August 24th, and this is your Destiny 2 latest news video. So, what a week, right? I mean, the eclipse happened, which was something I'll never forget. Rocking Gamescom all week with sweet announcements, possibly a Destiny 1 update dropping before September that will set things in motion for Destiny 2, and of course, the leak that happened yesterday afternoon, which I did a breakdown of, and I thought since I muted the original video and only used a small section of clips that it would be okay, but of course, nope, it was taken down about, 3 or 4 hours after I uploaded it. So, those 800 of you who watched it, hope you got a good look at it. Looks like Activision isn't fooling around with that one, but from what I found out, there was a huge preview event sometime this week, and this footage came from that. The embargo lifts today at 5 p.m. August 24th, so expect a rehash of that video from a bunch of different people, and I'm sure we'll hear more details about everything else within inside of the European Dead Zone, so pretty exciting on that front as well. But regardless, they can't stop us talking about it now. There is a Reddit post, which I will link down below, that has a good outline of what all you could have found within that video. But first, let's start with some news from Gamescom. And oh yeah, by the way, of course, there's that epic gameplay like what's in the background. Look at that PC footage, guys. Absolutely silky effing smooth, right? I mean, it's almost too smooth, but it looks so good. Anyways, Destiny 2 and Nvidia have been teaming up here recently for the PC release, and there's some good news coming out of that area. First, the PC beta will be supported with Nvidia game-ready drivers, so optimizations should make things a lot better for those who don't have, the sheer graphical horsepower to simply bludgeon your way through the world. Those who are running like, the bare minimum should really see a difference with decent drivers, like those running a GTX, 600 series or even the lower 900 series. Also, good thing about beta drivers is that they can reiterate on it when the game launches and make them even better for the full launch, which is always great to hear about. Sadly though, we have no word from AMD about any of their drivers. Also, Nvidia recently talked about some features which will be present not only within D2, but the beta as well. HDR and SLI will be supported, which is absolutely excellent news. For those who aren't sure what that stuff is, HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. It basically shows more colors than usual, and within those colors, there are deeper blacks and more contrast between them. It makes the picture far more vivid, even if you're not watching in 4K. SLI, however, a completely different beast entirely. Within a modern PC, graphics cards are pretty much the reason why gaming has become so smooth and so advanced as of here late. It's the same reason why Xbox One X is a beast, because it comes with a massive GPU. Well, SLI is the term used when you play a game on one computer, but you have more than one graphics card within it. These days, beastly cards like the GTX 1080 and 1080 Ti, or even the RX Vega from AMD, can just about rip up any content, pretty easily. But when you put two of them together, well, that's double the power. However, it is sometimes hard to get them to sync up correctly, but when you do, it's pretty magical. Especially in 4K, you can just let go of any kind of restriction and just let it just go crazy. Now, the big GPU makers AMD and Nvidia have recently been shying away from SLI configurations and going for simply one beastly card instead of hooking up 2 or 3. However, it looks like public demand has a different idea. Also, confirmed, Destiny will launch with text and in-game chat for the PC, so this makes communicating with non-friends an absolute breeze on the PC, a great addition for sure. Now, like I said before, Destiny has its panel today at Gamescom, which starts at 4:30 p.m. European time. I think that's like 11:30 a.m. here on the East Coast of the US, so hopefully we'll hear some good news from that as well. Alright, so sticking with more PC news, the Destiny 2 GPU bundle is now active once again. Nvidia has a deal where if you buy one of their top-of-the-line GPUs, like the GTX 1080 or GTX 1080 Ti, they will throw in a free copy of D2 as well as early access to the beta, and of course it comes with all the bells and whistles of pre-order goodness. So if you're in the market, guys, it's not a bad buy considering it's a free $60. As we move on here, there is one thing I wanted to mention concerning all these internet gadgets, gimmicks, etc. D2 is just absolutely going all out with their marketing this year. I mean, it's their right to do so, but they've taken it just a little bit far this time, at least in my humble opinion. Now, we had Red Bull during the Taken King, but for D2, it's just straight up sellout, and it's kind of sad to see my favorite game get treated like that. You know, I know they have to pay all these devs in the building, the royalties for the technology they use, all the PC programs and equipment, R&D, but scented candles, bathrobes, fidget spinners, Pop-Tarts, I mean, guys, come on, it's starting to get a little trashy here. Anyways, before I go on a rant, be careful when buying those XP boosts from Pop-Tarts. That's where this whole thing's going. Apparently, the codes will not be active unless you buy Pop-Tart boxes after September 1st. So if you went out and bought like 100 boxes, you will have wasted your money. According to a Reddit post online, these boxes of Pop-Tarts do not have the code inside of them. You have to scan the receipt of your Pop-Tarts and then send it in via text message. Once that happens, they will reply back with an XP code, but only if the receipt shows that you bought it within the promotion window, which apparently starts September 1st. Now, I'll have a link to the post down below. I have yet to confirm this myself by looking at a box of Pop-Tarts, but apparently the boxes are for show only and will be considered collectible. So it's not like you cut out the code from the inside. So to get the code, you have to snap a picture of your receipt after you buy them and then text that to D2XP. Then you will have your XP code texted back. So for those who already bought like 1,000,000 Pop-Tart boxes, try to return them ASAP and then buy them again starting September 1st. Alright, next up, Bungie.net has had its website redone, and it's now live. It has a separate LFG page, dedicated clan area, and a bunch more. It looks way better than before, and I am super excited to see how they integrate it with the new game. Also, with this said, if you're using the Bungie Companion app, it will no longer work with Destiny 1. You'll have to use like Ishtar Commander or the Vault, Destiny Item Manager, one of those third-party apps, in order to continue switching weapons within D1. Now, there will, of course, be support for Destiny 2, but obviously that won't be live until the 6th. So, hopping into some other news, Xbox One preload for Destiny 2 is now live. So, clear some space, guys, and get ready. PS4 will be joining the crowd sometime next week. Alright, moving forward, guys, let's get a rumor out of the way. There was an article yesterday morning that stated the loadout locked activity within Destiny 2 is going to be the heroic or hard mode raid. Guys, this is false information. Apparently, it was a miscommunication between the two parties. A few months back, Luke Smith, director of Destiny 2, talked about these activities where our loadouts will be locked, meaning that once we descend into the mission, activity, whatever, we're stuck using what we currently have equipped and nothing else. Now, ever since then, I've always speculated that this activity would be the Nightfall, and earlier today, we finally confirmed it to be true. Nightfalls are going to be back to their roots within Destiny 1, a harder endgame activity. Now, these days, Nightfalls are an absolute joke. Now, sure, you can get caught off guard and maybe die from a modifier that you forgot about, like Grounded or Solar Burn, but you're still going to beat it eventually. In Year 1, it took 3 of the best players that you had on your friends list and about an hour or two to beat a Nightfall. It was that difficult. I mean, if the entire team wiped, there was no checkpoint. It was back up to orbit, and you had to land and start all over again. However, with exotics and loot hard to come by back in Year 1, it was absolutely worth it. In Destiny 2, not only will our armor and weapons be locked so we can't switch things around, but Nightfalls will be a timed event as well. This is good, guys. I mean, at least in my mind, I don't mind the introduction of harder activities, especially considering that they're endgame activities. Now, we still do not know what this new death penalty will be for the new hard mode raid, but personally, I'm still kind of on the fence about that. Alright guys, and finally let's talk about the recent leak. Now, there are currently 2 active. The first has to do with a post taken down on Reddit about a week ago. It said that there will be an update for Destiny 1 coming out before September, and it will give us 2 very, very small missions and a few videos that will end up leading us into Destiny 2. Now, of course, that would be absolutely epic, but don't hold your breath. And then the other one is the large leak of the European Dead Zone patrol area that dropped a few hours ago. Now, there was a preview event being held around the start of Gamescom, and that's where this video originated. Someone just forgot to list my video as private instead of public. where he uploaded it to YouTube. So that caused a shitstorm. The embargo lifts today, August 24th, around 5 p.m. I think it said. So we're going to see all the EDZ spoilery goodness in full view here very, very soon. So expect a more in-depth video about that as we start to learn more. But it did show some awesome weapons, activities, a new NPC that is outside the social space and within the open world itself. Now, I thought that was the biggest thing to take away from that. Each destination will have its own rank-up faction, according to the Destiny 2 reveal event back in May. So this new NPC named Devrim will be the lead-in for the EDZ faction. Having an NPC at the top of a church, like away from everything else, is completely new and very unexpected, actually. Now this makes me think that the farm could indeed be located within the patrol zone. You could just walk out of the gate and load right into the patrol area. Gives me high hopes anyways, guys. But I'll talk more about that tomorrow as soon as it debuts. I wasn't a part of the event, but I guess I will respect their wishes. And finally, as we start to wind down this video, there's only a few things left to talk about. This Friday, August 25th, the PC beta will be available for preload on the Blizzard app. So familiarizing yourself with the new Bungie.net website will make sure you get those codes in just a little bit faster. And finally, who could forget about the recent launch trailer? Absolutely packed with new things to see. Weapons, armor, exotics. Loved it. I have a complete breakdown if you wish to check that out. The link is, of course, down below, or it'll be available to view at the end of this video. But what I wanted to talk about is what was within this video. It wasn't shown for very long, so most of us thought this new exotic had some kind of, hardcore explosive energy ability. Perhaps it was a fusion rifle, burst, linear fusion rifle, no one really knew. Well, upon looking at it closer and watching some more gameplay, I think that I figured it out. While I'm not 100% sure it's an exotic, it's too detailed not to be. The purple electricity dancing underneath the weapon, how it kinda glows when it shoots, it's pretty good looking. Never mind that it's incredibly stable and seems to shoot fairly fast. But what I wanted to talk about was this. Take a look at what happens to this Minotaur. It looks like this new weapon is just demolishing it, but I don't think that this is the weapon or one of its perks that's dealing this damage. What it appears to be is a new perk within energy shields. Remember, one of the changes coming to the PC beta was that energy weapons would now cause an explosion on the enemy if you used one to take out its shields. Well, I think that's what we're seeing here, guys. The new Destiny 2 shields are invisible unless they are recharging or being actively used, aka, being shot or damaged. So since this enemy isn't taking damage beforehand, the shield is invisible, and it only needs one more shot to break, causing the explosion. Now, that doesn't take away anything from the weapon. It's still badass, but I honestly do not think that it's the cause of the damage, but rather the quote-unquote nuking ability caused by the shield. Alright, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. There are a few small things left to talk about, but I'll save that for another day and another video. As always, loved having you here with me, and thank you all so much for supporting the nation. Feel free to help me get this channel off the ground by subscribing to Sly Nation, spank the thumb only if you enjoyed yourself, and comment down below on what you think is going to happen concerning these leaks. Did y'all get a chance to see them? Are you excited for the embargo to lift tomorrow? Let me know what you're thinking. Many awesome things await us in the next few days, Guardians, so be excited. I'm out of here, guys. As always, you know where I'll be, Sly Nation Gaming. It's the best place to stay up to date on everything D2 related, so definitely check it out. Don't forget that I still have my PC beta code giveaway going on right now. It ends tomorrow, so watch that video if you need a beta code. Like I said, winners will be announced on Friday, which is a perfect timing since you can now preload on Friday. Take care, Guardians. Keep those eyes peeled for more D2 videos in the very, very near future. But until then, this is your boy Sly, and I'll catch you all next time.